'Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you.
Introduced, I'm Maria, and just a little bit about myself. I'm a teacher, an art teacher actually. So my journey started about 10 years back when my son was diagnosed with blood cancer. We were in hospital for about 6 weeks and we lost the battle. He lost the battle. After burying that boy, I made a decision because it broke my heart that he could not be put on oxygen because we were not in the private wing, we were on the general ward. So I decided to myself that I was going to improve on my financial muscle. And when my sisters talked to me about this, I came for the money. But as we worked together, I kept coming back, and I had people talking about the benefits of the biodisc, but I fell in love with the home pure because I was asking so many questions at the hospital, why my son had caught blood cancer at a very young age, and the ward was full. There were so many kids, there were not even enough beds for them, somewhere on the verandas. So I kept asking the doctors, and most of the questions had no answers. But one thing stood out. The doctor told me that we cannot know why your boy caught cancer, but we can also say that maybe he took a lot of medication, probably, or he was stressed, or maybe you have it in your lineage, your genes. It made a lot of sense when he said we had it in our lineage, because truth be told, he was not the first person. We had lost, my mom had passed on again for blood cancer, and she was also not the only one. Several of our family members, a quick count is 7, but I know there were more than that, had passed on for blood cancer. So when I had people talking about how their health had improved because of using the biodisc, I myself decided to bring home the home pure, because I had also read that one of the reasons why my kids were getting into a lot of trouble with asthma was chlorine. So when they told us that the home pure removes chlorine from the water, I just took it home and we started using it. Long story short, because the last kids are twins and we were always in hospital, all the time there were infections, there were attacks, there were allergies, not only for them, but even for the rest of the family, the elder kids. So when we started using the home pure, the asthma attacks cut back. The infections, which I was sick and tired of that infection word. So there were always infections. And one time we were at church and we met up with one of the doctors who used to treat us. They knew us in hospital and we didn't have to line up. When we came, they would just tell us to get in. There were always 2, one very small and one bigger, but very sick all the time. So the doctor asked me, what happened? Why aren't you guys not coming anymore? Are the kids fine? And I was with them and I told the doctor, yes, they were fine, because they really were. So along the way, I was also diagnosed with low blood pressure. And coming back to this forum and hearing people talking about how the water treated with the biodisc had helped them, I started to focus on drinking structured and purified water. I have a bottle and I started to monitor myself. On a rainy day, it's 3 liters. On a sunny day like this, it's 5 liters. I started drinking water. I had asked my doctor not to admit me because I couldn't stand the hospital after I had gone through what I went through with my son. But he gave me a month to come back. And he told me that if you come back after a month and there's an improvement, you'll not be admitted. So I asked him, what do I do? He said, you have to cut back on your weight. You have to avoid things that stress you, and you have to drink a lot. I told him, doctor, it's a deal. First and foremost, I had good water at home that was very easy to drink. And so I upped my water game. After a month, I went back and I looked small. And the doctor told me that's not what she meant when she said for me to cut weight, because I had cut a lot of weight. But anyway, I was still strong. because I was using that water and I was well replenished. And my weight had also gone, but the low blood pressure was also managed. Now, because the kids were also drinking a lot of water at home, I taught them to take care of themselves by drinking water. And that is one thing that they do, even when they are at school. I told them, drink a lot of water. When you don't feel well, the first thing you should do is to drink a lot of water. And when we are here at home, because they keep sneezing in the morning, everyone who sneezes, I just ask them, how much water have you drunk? And it's always the one that has drunk less than they need to drink that will always be sneezing. So as I continued to use these products, I reached out to friends and relatives, and I have quite a number of people that I can say I have helped to understand the role of good water to health. I remember there was a friend of mine who could not breathe without oxygen, and I used to take structured water to her. She was bedridden, she was in hospital, and drinking that water helped her to improve. Through the COVID season, there were 3 of my friends who were put on oxygen and they were not actually responding at all anymore. The drugs had failed to help them. And the doctors had said that, we have used the last range of drugs and maybe you can pray. I don't know. They said they didn't know what to do with them, the 3 of them, and I helped them to understand the role of water. And just upping their water game, they started to respond to the drugs and to the oxygen, and today they are fine. So really these products, I think this was the best thing that happened to me, and I thank God that I embraced and listened and followed through on my decision to take charge of myself first and of my family, and to help people to understand that there is a lot they can do in the comfort of their homes and benefit from products that will work for 30 years.
Sky, 'cause you're a sky full of stars. 'Cause you light